Okay, students, this is a quick Scratch tutorial that shows you how to make a timer. I'm going to show you how to make a 30-second timer that counts down from 30 and then stops the game when the time runs out. What I'm going to do is start by creating a variable. A variable is a type of code block that you use when you need something to change. You need the value to change while the program is running. So I'm going to click Make a Variable, and what I want to change is the time. I want the time to reduce by 1 second for each second that passes, and I want that to show on the player screen. So you can see I'm naming my variable time because I want the word time to show up on my screen. Scratch will name your variables and then they will make them show up here. Make sure if you want it to show, you check the box next to your variable that is created over here in Scratch. So now I have a variable called time, and I am going to start by setting my variable to the number of seconds that I want it to use for the game. So I'm going to set mine for 30. I'm giving the player 30 seconds to do whatever it is that's going to be done. I also need to start my timer when the game starts. So when the green flag is clicked, the timer will begin. It will begin at 30 seconds. Now, but variable, here's a mistake. My variable is time. I want to make sure and set that variable to time, and that way that will be reflected here. In fact, if I click the green flag, you can see now it is set to 30. All right, I am now going to ask my clock to start ticking down. Now, the variable is called time and it is set to 30, but 30 what? The Scratch doesn't automatically know you mean seconds. So we have to write some code that will tell it, wait 1 second and then reduce this variable called time and do this until it gets to 0. So what we are going to do is go to the control blocks and we are going to say repeat something 30 times. So what we are going to say is repeat 30 times for 30 seconds. Now, how we get the seconds is also in the control drawer, and it's right here at the top. We're going to say repeat by waiting 1 second and then change the variable time by 1. So what we are going to do is go back to our variable, and we are going to say change my variable by... Now, if we change by 1, it counts up, but we want to count down, so we are going to change it by -1. So we have our variable set to 30 and repeat 30 times by waiting a second and then by counting down. Let's see if I click that green flag, if anything happens. No, I've already waited a second, nothing's happening. Here's my mistake right here. I have it set here time, but I forgot to change the menu here. So let's try this again. It sets to 30. Now it is counting down. I have a timer that is counting down, and that is fantastic. I'm going to stop. Now I want to make it stop when it gets to 0. So I am going to set a condition. I'm going to go back to control, and I am going to say, if one condition is true, then something is going to happen. And that condition is my variable time equaling the value 0. So I am going to say, I'm going to go to my operators. Operators are mathematical and logic operators, and I want the equal sign. I want to say when time equals 0, then stop everything. So I'm going to go back to my variable, and you can see that my variable time has that nice oval shape, just like the inside of the operator here. So when time equals 0, then, now here's kind of a handy code shortcut. If I go back to control and I scroll down a little bit, there is a stop all block. And you will notice that stop all is flat on the bottom. So nothing can go beyond stop all because stop all just stops the entire program. I do want to add one thing up there. I'm thinking it would be nice to have some audio or visual clue. I could do a, game over background or game over text that pops up. I think I'm just going to add some music. I'm going to go to the sound and I'm going to say play sound until done, and I'll do that before, and I don't want it to be meow. Oh, and I don't want to record anything. Let me go to my sounds tab, and down at the bottom, it's the little speaker with the plus. I can choose a sound. Oh, there's so many. I just want the lose sound, so I'm going to type in game over. I'll type in lose, L-O-S-E. There it is. I'm going to click it. Now here is my lose sound. All right, now that I've added that, that should be in my menu. So I'm going to click back on the code tab. I'm going to check my menu here. There it is, lose. So now I should have a timer that starts at 30, clicks down to 0, and when it gets to 0, it plays the sound and then stops everything. Let me stop, and then let me start again. Let's see what happens. All right, getting close. Let's see, is it going to stop at 0? There it is, a timer that counts down from a number that you set and stops when it gets to 0.